Good, good evening. Good Easter evening,
Yeah,
guys.
as we say in Italian, Buona Pasqua.
La Pasqua. It wasn't good yesterday because
Well, we'll get
we'll
to
get,
that in a
we'll
second.
get, we'll get into that. We gotta welcome
Let's
our
be
buddy.
nice here with our guest and
Yeah,
introduce the
introduce our
very
guest.
famous Rossonero.
How's it going,
Hold
Giancarlo?
on. Hey, what's up, buddy? By the way, when did you change? I went to, I've really fallen off the Twitter world. I went to tag you on Twitter as Rossonero, and it didn't come up. Like, what the hell happened?
I changed that tag when I started working for Gazetta World. You know,
Oh.
I needed to pretend to look
professional?
non-biased.
Yeah, that's true. That was the best. That was the best Twitter handle ever. Rossonero.
I know, that's
Rossonero. That was our song for you. Remember?
Yeah, I do definitely.
Oh,
But
what's
yeah,
up?
anyways, that's what I had to change the Twitter tag.
Oh, well, it's great to have you on the show, buddy.
It's good to be here. Good to talk to y'all.
Introduce yourself for those that don't know you. I mean, most
All right.
people do, but
Name's Ogo Sylla, long friend of these guys over here. And, when I heard that they were doing this Curva YouTube channel to talk about everything Milan, well, they were kind enough to invite me. And it's my honor to come here. I got to know these guys from a long time ago. And, they found the one random Senegalese living in New York who supported Milan.
hey, man, the only reason we have you on the show is because you look like Don Cheadle.
That's cool.
He calls himself Don Cheadle, and it says it on your Instagram, right?
I mean, that's like a joke from high school, right? So it just kind of stuck.
Don Cheadle. That's so funny. Oh man, well, great to have you on. You're being very humble there, buddy, because you obviously did some journalism in your day, and guys, you mentioned Gazzetta World before we kind of jumped into it here, and where else did you do some writing for?
I was writing mostly for Forza Italian Football.com.
Great.
English blog on the Serie A, and then after that, I did some work with Gazzetta World. That only lasted a year, though. To be fair, the website only lasted like a year and a half.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what happened with Gazzetta World?
Gazzetta. The Gazzetta World was a subsidiary of Gazzetta dello Sport, just an English website for the Italian site, and just obviously financing things. They wanted to reach numbers that were not really doable with how small our team was in the beginning, and they weren't really giving us the tools and the funding to like expand the things and hit the numbers they wanted us to hit. So eventually. Eventually they lost patience with it and closed it down.
Sounds very Italian. When it comes to business, they want everything. They want to pay half, and they want it done tomorrow. That's how it works. I mean, this is Beppe with Milan. He wants everything. He wants us to win the Scudetto tomorrow. That's it. We lose one game, it's over. That's Beppe. Beppe is the perfect example, right?
Well, why you gotta get me instigated right in the beginning?
I gotta get you started.
I've been holding this anger since yesterday at 8:30 in the morning.
But hold that thought for a second, because we always do this, and you never actually. He doesn't really spend sometimes talking about the amazing jerseys he has on. So, what jersey do you have on today? Please let the viewers.
This is actually match one, and it's huge because he was a big man.
Oh, Kalak?
No, I had Kalak the other time. Remember, I showed you the Kalak.
You did, yeah.
That looks like Dita. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
How big was Dita?
This is the same style jersey. You remember the Champions League derby the second time with the flares?
Yeah,
yes.
When Dita got hit, he was wearing not this exact one, but this
right.
But this basically is from one of those games, because this is a Champions League match issued from back then, and it's huge. He wore, because he was a big guy, tall guy.
How big was Dita?
That was big, man.
He's big.
Yeah? I guess I never realized how big he was.
He was a big guy. You would have never thought he was Brazilian. Tell you that.
we thought Oscar was Brazilian, right? You thought Oscar was
right?
Oscar can't be. Well, I don't know. So one thing about Oscar is that always like right around like 8:58 p.m. he's got to clip his dog's toenails. So it's probably what he's doing right now. And he's going to be mad at me for saying that, but he did say he had to do something with the dogs. So hopefully he joins. And can chime in here with our lovely guest here, Ogo. But yeah, let's jump right into it now. I mean, enough with the joking and having some laughs. I think it's time to get a little miserable, serious, and let's talk about Sampdoria. So before we go to Beppe, because it's going to get very negative right away.
Make Ogo say his piece first.
Let's go to our guest, our esteemed guest here. Ogo, please tell us about what was your thought on the disappointment against Sampdoria?
Well, the thought about the game Sampdoria, I guess, is, I wouldn't even say it's the culmination, but I think it's almost like the continuation of a bad feeling that I think all of us have kind of been having since the turn of the year, that the team is losing steam, and I don't think it's always an issue of tactics or maybe just mentality or even the coach or things like that. I think it's just an issue like, we're just really, the team has really been pulling on the core with all the injuries, lots of missing players, and lots of, key players missing. So honestly, like for the first half of the season, I was watching in amazement at the kind of run we were putting forward, and it was kind of almost unbelievable, to be honest. So I don't know. I like to see this situation now is almost kind of regressing to the mean, but it's a bit disappointed because we've been like riding this wave and the high of the first half of the season, and now for it to like kind of peter out in the end, at least seemingly, it's obviously a bit more disappointing to look at it. So yeah, that's the thing. But I don't think like it's hard for me to come and say that tactically there's an issue, because I don't think there's been too many changes. Obviously, it's purely trying to do the best with the team he's got on there. But I think overall we also have to come to the realization that we got a decent team, but it's a decent team and nothing more.
Well, that's a good point. It is. You're right. It's a decent team, but I mean, let's be honest. The personnel on the team, on the pitch, I mean, this is not a Champions League winning material. Yeah,
right.
I think you're right. We have to be a little more realistic. But what do you think, like in reference to the game itself, right? Do you think? Because I heard a few people talk about how they thought Pioli got some of the tactics wrong yesterday. Do you think he got the tactics wrong? I mean, I think he brought in Hauga, which was a good thing, obviously. He brought him in. Maybe should have brought him in earlier. But anyway, aside from that, like Castillejo playing from the beginning, what do you think?
Yeah, in terms of personnel, I think the difficulty with Pioli tactically is that we're never really quite sure, because of all the injuries again and the people missing and the squad, the team always being rotated, and he has to like sometimes put like round pegs in square holes. We're not like who can actually name our starting 11 for the season, like that. I think that's the difficulty, and it's the difficulty that Pioli has. It's like sometimes we'll start somebody, he'll have a good game, and then we think, okay, yeah, then he's the starter. And then a couple games down the line, he's no good anymore. We start somebody else, they do better. So it's this, this unsureness about who are real starters, or even not the starters, but like a real hierarchy within the team. I think that's a big problem, and it makes analyzing tactics a bit more complicated. More specific to the game against Samp yesterday, though, I think definitely you have to admit that the team was flat. The team was very flat, and even after Sampdoria went a man down, you didn't really feel the change of pace. You didn't really feel the change of intensity, apart from the last 10, 15 minutes, obviously, when they were pushing for it. But I think the first half was very, very disappointing. I mean, it was mostly all Samp. And I think, you have to admit to that wasn't great, that wasn't, it wasn't good. And I know a lot of people had a lot to say about Castillejo and Salamakers as well. And a lot of people always have a lot to say about those two players, I feel. But
very similar players.
Yeah, but obviously Salamakers is playing right back, which I never understand. Why he's placed in those positions. Like it's a player who obviously like runs a lot. He gives a lot of effort, but that's not enough. You need to have that tactical sense. You need to have the quality as well. So you do have to blame Pioli on that instance, because obviously he's the one who's putting the players where they are.
Yeah, no, I agree. Pepe, let's see. You're waiting.
You go ahead. You do your rebuttal, and then I talk.
My rebuttal? No, I mean, I agree with Ogo. I mean, I think that we're limited. And Frank, he's saying here, what else can Pioli do? And he's right. I mean, we're very limited with the team that we have because of injuries and things of that sort. So it's hard for me to be really tough on Pioli yesterday, because at the end of the day, maybe I would have brought in Hauga earlier, or maybe started him instead of, playing one of those two, right? But I mean, we don't have anybody else really. We don't have a deep, bench, and with the injuries, he maybe felt that in practice these two guys showed something more. Well, I mean, the thing is that, like, I think everybody always likes to, comment on Twitter or give their feedback and say, what their opinion is. But I mean, we don't know what goes on at practice, right? So at the end of the day, the coach does. So I mean, I can't say maybe Hauga didn't practice well, right? And he thought, maybe Hauga's not, 100% fit. I don't know. Did Hauga play for Norway over the international break?
I don't believe so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wasn't sure if he did, but
yeah. But JC, if I can chime in just very quickly before Pepe, you say that we were not at practice, but from my, you're saying part of my experience as well when I was working as a journalist was that I did get to follow my own national team, the Senegalese national team.
Yeah, I remember.
And what I can tell you about coaches is that. Yeah, the practices and what happens there does matter to them. But sometimes some coaches like some players because they have faith in like what they can bring, and they think this player is consistent and he brings what things I can expect, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes with players like Salamanca, I feel that that's the case. Pioli kind of trusts his output, but it's not always there, right? He has this kind of intrinsic faith in the player, whatever that may be based on, so that player plays. And that's
funny,
definitely the case sometimes.
As we're talking about practice, I just can't, because I'm a big NBA fan too, I just can't help to think about Allen Iverson. Practice? We're talking about practice? We're sitting here talking about practice. Anyway, that just reminded me of Allen Iverson. It's one of the best moments about practice, that was ever probably in a press conference. But anyway, let's turn it over to Pepe. Pepe, please, go easy.
Why are you gonna make me?
Easter Sunday. Technically, it's
gonna make me spit so much poison on a holy day like this.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. Me and Ogo try to set the tone. Easy.
We all. You asked me prediction for the game. And
I said,
I said what I honestly believed. I thought it was going to be a 2-1 win.
Yeah,
because I thought you say, you know what? Although I haven't seen it, that's why I've been telling you guys, please let me see, before we get all hyped, let me see 4 or 5 wins in a row. Because this has been happening. Oh, but you saw the way they played in Florence. We were also down 2-1 in Florence. So we didn't play. We weren't world beaters. And that's what we've been doing. We've been taking a step forward and 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do? A team like Sampdoria? Come on. You cannot play a first half the way you played.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Then you catch a break. You play with a man up, and you do nothing. I'm almost happy. Even though it's fucked up to say, that Kessie's ball in the 93rd minute didn't go in. Because if that ball would have went in, it would have missed a big, big problem. Because people wouldn't have cared. They said, well, we got the 3 points. Who cares? There is a problem here. You can't just you got to be consistent. We haven't seen consistency since when? When was the last time Milan has had a nice 5?
But sometimes you need luck, and then I can't agree with you that I would have wanted Kessie's ball to not go in.
Obviously, I would want the point. But what I'm saying is a lot of times you realize that Spezia has not done shit since that game against us. Literally,
I've been following. I have been following. They haven't done anything.
I mean, we lost points. You see, when you said, "Oh, joking around," there's 33 points available. How many points we're gonna win? We're gonna get 30 points. 30 points.
I said 30 points. Did I say 30 points?
Yeah, I said 30 points.
We gotta go back to the videotape. I don't know if I said.
Yeah, you did. But you definitely said it to
confirm in the comments.
You definitely said it to instigate me. I said it.
Okay, well, that's different.
Yeah, you definitely said it because I said like this. I said.
No, realistically, I said let's go 4-1-1. I think I said.
But my point is, when you look at all these games, it's easy. When you look at the standings, oh, that's winnable. Oh, that's winnable. Oh, that's winnable. Then you see things that happen. That's why anything is possible. And with this team, This team has changed from this to this in such a short time. It looks like a completely different team. I'm so happy that we had the run that we had in the beginning of the year. Because usually we start slow and we play catch up at the end.
Yeah,
If
you're
we
right.
have the crazy run that we had with all the injuries, with all that the COVID problems, this team, you know what we will be by now? We'll be like in 8th place at least. I think if we didn't have that crazy run of staying above, in first place as much as we did, and we would have just been this type of team, we would have never been outside of 19th place. Now, what's going to happen? Look at the standings. It gets tighter and tighter. And people go like, why are you worrying? We're in second place. Because look how fast it changes.
Yeah.
I said, guys, don't sleep. Don't wait for something to happen before crying. These are the warning signs. Fix it now before, and you got lucky because Roma didn't win. Napoli almost didn't win, but they managed to win. And Napoli is not stopping. Napoli is very dangerous. And the fact that Juve and Napoli are 4th and 5th, out of all those teams with the form, who's the team that doesn't deserve to be in the top 4? It's us. Currently, Inter is just going over. People that thought that Inter was going to go away, they're crazy. Atalanta is managing their wins.
Yeah.
Napoli has not stopped winning. They got all the wins that they needed.
Yep.
And Juve is still going to be Juve. If Juve decides that they're going to, they turn it on because they got to make the Champions League, maybe the odd team out is us. If we continue this way, maybe we're the odd team out. So we can't keep playing with fire.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very important point, Pepe, because I think sometimes we lose sight of it. And I think even I have to say it a bit myself, when it looked like we were going for the Scudetto, and then Inter kind of, went ahead. I was like, well, at the end of the day, it's fine. We'll be top 4. But you look at the table today, and that is not a certainty at all. Like you mentioned, Atalanta are in crazy hot form, obviously. I mean, if I had to bet one team that's going to end second, I would pick Atalanta. I wouldn't pick Milan right now, right?
Absolutely.
And obviously, Napoli, like you mentioned, Juve, yeah, they've been inconsistent, but it's still Juve. So, and our form ain't great. So, yeah, that's the thing. I think especially the players first before us fans need to really look over their shoulders because we're in a very precarious position. Juve, I believe, have a game in hand as well. They have a game in hand. They're only 4 points behind right now. Atalanta is just 2 points behind us. Napoli have a game in hand as well. They're on 56 points with Juve. So we could very much find ourselves on the outside looking in. And that would be a very, 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 that would make for a very disappointing season.
You can, after what you did, for me, in the beginning, I thought it was going to be tough to get into the top 4. But
for sure.
After the way you played, you have to, this becomes a failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're right. We're the one team in that section of the standings that's struggling the most right now. We're the most inconsistent right now out of all the teams you mentioned, right?
Yeah, this is six home games in all competitions that we failed to win.
Let's pretend Oscar's not there. I like what Frank said there. What? Put over your shoulders.
Let's pretend, guy.
Let's keep talking. Who's this guy?
I'm just listening.
We got a Brazilian hacker. We got a Brazilian hacker.
No Brazilian actors. Hey, Ogo, what's up, man?
How's it going? Good. I'm
you.
good. It's been a while.
No, I'm listening. You got some valid points here. We're at risk of losing that 4th spot. It's just becoming more real and more real every day.
For sure.
Yeah, it was a frustrating game. I mean, I think we all thought with Sampdoria we could probably, get those 3 points, and at the end, it almost looked like we were about to. I understand what you were saying earlier, Pepe. I mean, we played like crap. So, having Kessie's goal go in, you obviously wanted it to go in, but still, it's going to mask things, like you said, right? And we need to wake up. But I think even if that goal went in, I think it still would have been, something where we need to wake up, and Pioli wouldn't have let the guys during practice forget how shitty they played.
Well, people forgot how bad we were playing against Fiorentina because all they saw was the.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, just because you keep bringing up Kessie shot that hit the woodwork. I was looking at it because I was like, dang, we've hit a lot of woodwork this season. That was the 19th time. 19th time we hit the woodwork.
What was the game that we
Wow.
hit?
Is that the record in Serie A this year?
Yeah, it's the most. The most.
Of course it is. Of course it is. You know, it's pretty amazing that we're still in second place with 19. Crossbars, whatever.
But then there's people that turn around and say, "Well, you guys also had the most penalties, of course." You know. Remember what they were saying?
We still have the most penalties. We still have the most.
I don't know. I don't want to say.
I got to look that up.
Yeah.
But but most of those people are Juventus fans who have been harassed for generations about that. So.
Oh, did you hear? You see how much are they crying for Allegri to come back now?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my God!
Oh my
Are they still paying him?
Where's my phone?
He was watching a game with Agnelli. He was watching the last Juve game.
I have to get my phone. Wait a second. I have to get my phone. I have to show you what my cousin sent me today.
I still think he's a terrible coach. I don't care.
Oh my God.
I know Ogo. I know Ogo probably agrees with me if I remember correctly. I'm sorry. Allegri, let's see him coach a team. Let's see him do what Ancelotti did. Right? Go coach Everton.
Yeah,
let's
I
see
mean,
him coach Everton.
Look,
I give Ancelotti so much respect for that.
He's been linked with Roma for a little bit now.
Who?
Maybe I would like to see what he could do with a team like Roma.
I'd like to see it too.
Yeah, I mean, personally, not to dig too deep into the Allegri business. It's no longer relevant as far as we're concerned. I think it's a bit harsh to say he's a terrible coach. He's not a he's not.
I don't like him.
He's not fantastic, but personally, me, I just don't like his style of coach. It's the same. It's the same with Conte, and on top of it, Conte, I don't like him as a person anyway. So
he's a bitch.
I'm not a fan of Allegri's style of football. This is my only issue with it.
This is what he said. This is what he sent me today. Abbiamo un sogno nel cuore. This is my cousin sending me this.
Oh.
He wants to see He wants to see Allegri with Pogba again.
Un sogno nel culo. Nel cuore. Fucking Allegri.
So bad.
Oh, listen, let him go back there. I mean, then Buffon will stay for another 2 years and lose another two. Well, actually, they may not make the Champions League next year.
Assuming we keep on pace.
If for the reason they don't make it, oh God.
Ogo, are we gonna keep on pace? Are we gonna keep on pace, Ogo?
I mean, personally, if you ask me today, I'm not very confident about it because our form just isn't great. Like I mentioned, it's a 6 home game that we've not won in the last competitions. I would need to look at our schedule. Somebody can pull that up for me real quick to see what games are coming up. But honestly, given the former team, Parma is coming up. Yeah, I mean, theoretically we should win that game, but. What have we seen? What have we seen in the last few weeks that would really make this a guarantee?
Pepe's always going to remind us about the Spezia game. He's always going to remind us about the Spezia game.
Theoretically, the winnable games. Oh my God!
but
these are the ones. I mean, like the Sampdoria game, we lost points.
Can I remind you that Lazio is coming back with a vengeance?
Lazio, you got to worry about.
Keep getting points and points. They're going to pass Roma. They're going to come in that little conversation too. And we still got to play them. We still got to play Juve. And the last game of the year, we want to clinch Champions League. We better clinch it before that Atalanta game.
That is.
I agree. Yeah. I wouldn't like that. Look
at Lazio. Look at Lazio right there, man. Yeah. Right there.
If we play that last game of the season to get into Champions League, I'm telling you right now, I got zero confidence of Milan winning that.
Yeah, me too. I would agree with you there. I wouldn't because this team has not shown well with under pressure. So.
Yeah, and you could avoid the whole situation as if you get points with the teams that you're supposed to fucking get the points from.
I mean, let's be honest, right? Who have our most consistent players this year been?
That's a good question.
Kessie, Donnarumma.
Kessie, yeah.
And Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
Those are the only two.
Tomori, since he's been here.
Tomori.
Yeah, but yeah,
been
right.
here.
Yeah, all year.
Yeah, but I meant
Salamakis has had his ups and downs. Theo Hernandez has had his up and down.
Theo Hernandez, let's be honest.
Hernandez
Theo Hernandez has not had a good season. He hasn't really
Leao was at his downs.
yeah.
Well,
Well, now
I want to hear
expected.
Ogo's take. We're gonna hear Ogo's take on Leao later. But anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, I don't know who else is consistent. Who else?
Yeah, and that's the problem. And you can't have a team when you have only two players who can be consistent like that. It's not enough, you know. And for as much as people were excited about Ibrahimovic coming back, yeah, he's had COVID, so he's missed most of the year anyway. Obviously, through no fault of his own, right? He's not here like licking doorknobs to catch him, but he's just not been around. So,
Kiar, sorry, somebody just said Kiar.
Kiar, that's very true. Yeah. So someone
Kaya.
I call him Kiar. I don't
is
care.
it Kiar or Kyer?
Simon Kyer. I'm gonna look up the video again, and I'm gonna
because every time he was in France, they were calling him a Cher. So I don't know.
Here.
Who cares? Fanculo.
But anyways, all that to say that unfortunately we don't have players that are going to be here that are going to be consistent week in, week out, and that's a big problem.
Rebic has been very frustrating this season. I mean, he had the injury,
right? He did have that.
And then he told the referee to, his mom, the whole thing there. And
to be fair, I thought he was decent when he was on the pitch. Even when he doesn't score, I feel like he's more or less productive.
He's good off the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
I agree. I just, I wanted him to have a big season this year.
I mean, we want everyone to have a big season.
It hasn't happened.
But yeah, Benacer has been good. I think he's been a very important.
Broken. He's been broken.
A little bit.
What's that?
Been broken. No, I mean he just breaks all the time. He's amazing every time he's playing.
Injury prone. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
he's injury prone a bit.
For sure.
Hey Ogo, now that you're here, now I wanted to bring some heat into the. So I see all these talent coming from Lille, and then we go back to the Leao thing. We picked up Leao out of there. What do you expect? Because you look at the French league, you analyze it, you know what's going on. Is it for real? I mean, are all these players for real at Lille? Like, because we keep getting tied to all of them. Like, it seems like we're gonna get them all.
We keep getting tied to them because of who owns both clubs, which happens to be the same group. I think that's where the ties are coming in. They do have very good players that been said. Are there players that break through? I'm not even going to talk about Champions League level because I think that's way too early to say. But even at the Europa League level, I think it's maybe one or two of those players in there, right? Like a central midfielder. I mean, he's not really on sale. We're not been linked with him. But Benjamin André, who's a central midfielder, he's a very good player as far as I'm concerned.
Is Burak Yilmaz the real deal?
Yeah, but Burak Yilmaz is 30+ years old, isn't he?
Dude, but he's been scoring goals. Like, he's a freaking machine.
No, of course not. He's a good player.
I don't want to be tied to him, but I'm just saying, is it the real deal? Because you get to watch him.
I mean, look, he's the real deal in the sense that he scores goals. But
who's the other Turk that plays out there in Lille that he was playing up forward?
Oscar's turning this into the Lille podcast.
Sorry, I'm asking him. No,
most
listen.
People don't know. Wait, hold on. Ogo's our resident, League One.
We had.
He's the reason why Milan signed him.
Our asses got kicked by Lille. And then you got the expert right here asking.
He's the reason. Ogo's the reason why we signed Yang, right?
Oh God!
he called Galliani and gave him the heads up. Where the hell did he play in France again?
No, he most recently he was playing at the Rennes, but before he came to us, he was at Caen.
That's it. With the E. Right?
Yeah, I never had high hopes.
You never. I know. Ogo never liked him. He sucks. Ogo said from the beginning, even when he was a little decent with us, Ogo was like, "Don't get excited over this guy."
I remember the front page of Gazzetta. They were trying to sell this as il trio della Cresta. They all had El Shaarawy, Balotelli and Niang.
Yeah.
They had
I remember. I have that Gazeta somewhere. I have it. I saved it. I'm gonna bring it down to the next episode. I have it.
But also, I think the other Turkish player you were talking about was Yazidi.
Yeah. There's like a long hair. He scored like this sick goal against.
Yeah, no, he started really hot at the start of the season. He's been a bit off. To be fair, the entire team has been kind of a bit of a dip since they got knocked out by Ajax in the Europa League. I think that game against Ajax like hit him really hard because they were shown that they were not really the team at the level that they thought they were.
So imagine if that would have been us against Ajax.
I mean, I wouldn't trust us to beat Ajax. I don't think we're.
Take a pill of
pain. We got some bad news today. Apparently, we're not picking up Meite's option.
I am broken.
I saw that come along the wire. I wanted to mention. I couldn't wait to mention it on the show. I mean, he wasn't up to par at all.
Yeah. But as far as the little team, they definitely have some good players. But I think a lot of them, I
think they beat PSG this weekend or something like that, right?
They did beat PSG 1-0. Yeah, they had a very good game about it.
Fucking hate Neymar. Fucking hate Neymar. Sorry.
Yeah. As Sven Botman, the defender, the center back, Botman, he's an interesting player. I think he'd be something.
Che cosa dici? Che cosa dici?
Hating on your paisano.
No, paisano cazzo.
Why do you hate Oscar's Brazilian, so well, we don't know what Oscar is sometimes. He's American, he's Brazilian, he's Venezuelan. He's a man of all nations.
I'm lost.
By the way, Frank, I love Frank. He said, "Who the fuck cares how you pronounce fucking Chiar's name? It's Chiar. As long as he plays good, who cares?" So thank you.
There you go.
Frank's
Che cazzo ti frega? Che cazzo ti frega?
Frank's going to be our guest of honor next. He's replacing Oscar that day.
Yeah, for sure, man. Anytime.
No, we need Oscar. We actually need Oscar because Oscar he helps coordinate all of us who talk too much.
Thank you. Yeah, especially Pepe that sits there and gives me shit, you know.
Pepe, he's like he went in on it a little bit, and now he's like just sitting
Pepe,
back.
show the stickers, please. Where are the stickers?
Oh yeah, you got to show the stickers, man.
Guys, people, the four strong that are watching, look at this. We're official. We have stickers of the show.
Yeah, merch.
We have merchandise.
It looks like there's a fire around it. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, I said
kind of scary. The devil's generating a fire there.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we got some the Curva stickers for the show.
We're gonna come with merchandise.
If we ship this in Poland, they're gonna think like, "What the fuck are we?" Because
Curva means.
Curva in Polish is like
not only in Polish, apparently in Serbian.
It's all Eastern Europe.
Vladi told me. You know what Curva means in Serb? I'm like, he told me. Anyway, let's not get into that. That'll turn into another show that'll end up on, Pornhub.
So there's a couch right there. So
yeah, that's right. The famous couch. I can't wait. You know what? I can't wait when we actually can all get together and we do an episode in his apartment, and we all sit on that couch.
Hey, we talk about Lake Worth. We talked about Lake Worth. So Pepe's dad had a pizzeria. Your wife's uncle lives around here. I'm supposedly. This is what's happening.
Yeah. If anybody's listening from Lake Worth,
I would have never ever thought you would have been living there. Don't they kick out people that are like under 65?
No, honestly, like where that happens is mostly in Delray Beach, where my parents live. Like there's a lot of elder people. I mean, there's a lot of like elder retirement communities, and also lots of what's it called, methadone clinic. Recovery centers.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of drug rehab centers there.
Oh, wow.
So it's okay.
Downtown Delray is nice though. The restaurants.
Downtown Delray, it's like lots of bars.
We got to film an episode down in Delray. That'd be cool.
Why not? Yeah, let's do it. We'll have Ogo there.
So Ogo.
Ogo.
Question we've asked every guest. We got a couple on.
All right.
What's your take on the Donnarumma saga? Whatever you want to call it.
The Donnarumma saga.
Gotta ask you.
All right. So my take on I think my take is very clear cut about Donnarumma. Like, and I think it's going to depend what the club wants to do with Ibrahimovic. As far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't keep Ibrahimovic, right? But if they want to, then you have to let go of the Donnarumma. I don't think it's worthwhile keeping both. Well, it's just not that it's not worthwhile. I don't think it's advisable to keep both, just in terms of like the wages and all that. But I don't know. Donnarumma's been very good, but it's very hard for me to justify pushing the boat on a goalkeeper. He's been very good, no doubts about it. He's been worth a lot of points for us this season, absolutely. Yes. But at the end of the day, it's hard for me to like get out my head. At the end of the day, it's a goalkeeper. We can't find another one. He might not be as good, but like Tataru Sanu is still a good
goalkeeper. Tiramisu.
Tataru Sanu is still a good goalkeeper. I think he's going to be very serviceable if we were
but I mean, is he worth 10 million euros a year?
Donnarumma? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the fact that he's already like he's one of the top 5 highest wage earners in Serie A. So which just it's a bit strange, right? As far as I'm concerned.
Do you think anybody would even? Do you think there's actually a market for somebody that? I know there's a market for people that would take him, but do you think there's a market for anybody that would pay him 10 million euros a year?
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to think like what his market actually would be, because PSG, they're not looking for a goalkeeper, and I know that Leonardo was interested about a year or so ago. That's what was coming out of France at the very least.
Yeah, I remember that.
Keylor has been amazing.
Yeah, he's exactly. So I don't think they're gonna look towards him at this point. Chelsea, they're very good. They're very happy with the new goalkeeper that they got from Rennes. His name escapes me right now. Apologies. So I don't think they're in the market for one. United, they would have to get rid of De Gea. I'm not so sure that there's a lot of appetite for that right now for them. City, they don't need another goalkeeper. Liverpool, they're fine with Alisson.
Exactly.
So I'm like, what is his market? So that's my issue. But
not even Juventus. Like you know.
Yeah, I mean, Juventus is in a tough financial situation themselves.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I don't know if they're going to be wanting to match his wages that he's been getting with us, right?
I mean, one thing I didn't even realize though is, let's say God forbid, he does walk. He's going to walk for free. So I mean, maybe in your mind, if like a Juventus, right? Mm-hmm. We're not going to have to pay a big, transfer for him, but we'll bring him on a salary of 10 million euros.
Right.
I mean, that could be possible that some teams may actually entertain that, but I just don't think that Milan's going to allow for him. I can't imagine Maldini letting him walk for free. I mean,
absolutely. If we can get some money out of it, let's do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's absolutely no reason not to. I am not. My stance is I am not against him being on the market. I guess that's my stance.
Yeah, nor am I. I'm not either. I mean, I love the guy, but I mean, if we can keep him and lock him up to another, 2-year contract. I mean, maybe make this next one a short one, right? But after the first year, you realize, okay, maybe we didn't do well in the Champions League. Maybe we didn't even make the Champions League. Then you sell him for a certain amount of money, and everybody's happy.
Right. And there's this other issue that I really don't like this situation when we're being held at gunpoint and hostage.
I hate it.
But by not only just a player, but like Mino Raiola. That's the thing that really grates me about it.
Yeah, when's this guy finally gonna end up in jail?
I mean, what do we say?
Never.
No, he probably never will. But as a starting point, I'd like us to just stop buying players from him, because he always tries to screw us over.
He's like a cockroach, though, man.
It's not just even Milan; just any team that he works for.
So I read a report today. He did all that stint going around the teams. Yeah. So to offering Haaland, there would be a big check for him, a big check for Haaland's dad, and a big contract for. I'm like, what do you want, bro? It's like 20 or 30 million euros.
He wants money. He went, he did this whole thing. He had a photographer, take pictures of him when he landed on the plane in Barcelona. He went to Barcelona, and in the same day he went to Real Madrid and did the Madrid media over there to talk about how Haaland is on the market, and whoever is the highest offer, he'll go there. The dude is a mercenary, and he makes his players out to be mercenaries, which
Well, that's right.
Honestly, if I were a player, I'd get a bit upset about it.
Me too, and I was about to say that. I understand that players are attracted to the fact that he can generate you maybe a better salary or a better transfer. right?
Yeah, which is fair enough,
But there's other agents out there that may be able to do it without all this like
without the
negativity, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of.
I don't understand his sex appeal. I don't understand. I mean, I don't get it.
He gives a bad name to it.
Look at this garbage. I mean, of course, this is garbage around the internet, but look at this. Raiola gets 20. It's actually credible within the garbage. But Raiola gets 20, father gets 20, and they're asking for 30 million a year.
But I mean,
plus
Messi,
whatever.
I mean, look, obviously this is a legend, but coming from Mino Raiola, I wouldn't be shocked that he actually did ask for those.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't think it's true.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. There's so much garbage around, but yeah, he is part of the big problem, right? But what happened? What happened when we try to play against Raiola? What happened? Like, okay, they played ransom. What was it when Mirabelli was doing that? They ransomed. Yeah, we're gonna sell Gigio and all this stuff, and then all this drama came out of nowhere, and he's gonna go, and then all of a sudden he's gonna stay. I mean, you have to learn how to deal with this.
Well, Mirabelli,
Mirabelli was a dumbass.
But he was. But Mirabelli also he probably told, like, Maldini's probably a little bit more professional when dealing with him. And Mazzara too. I'm sure Mirabelli Calabrese, from the south, he probably said, "Go fuck yourself." He probably had that big thumb. I shove my thumb up your fat ass, that kind of thing. It's true though. I really think that's probably why. And then because you remember Raiola hated him. I mean, like despised him.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that's when he was saying that he's not going to sign for Milan at all. None of my players will ever play for Milan. That kind of thing.
If we don't make the Champions League, Gigio's going bye-bye.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't agree with you, man. I really don't think.
What's going to end up happening? Number one, he's not going to make Champions League. It gives him more incentive to go to a team with Champions League. And number two, without the money of the Champions League, our focus is going to be towards a different transfer window. We may not keep him because if he gets a good Euro tournament, he's not going to give a fuck that we haven't made it.
But maybe we shouldn't force him to stay. If he wants to go, he can go.
Absolutely.
There's no way, guys.
We should let him go.
There's no way Maldini. I mean, his reputation will be ruined forever. Yeah. If he lets him walk for free, it's going to be a disaster. He can't let the guy walk for free. So I know if we don't make Champions League, he's got to work something out with Fat Boy, under the table, re-sign him for 2 years, and then you sell him like in December. I don't know. You can't.
No, but if you re-sign him, I don't think you're going to be able to sell him again. Like if you re-sign him, you're locking me in. You're going to have to sell him with not a year to 9 months left on his contract.
How much of a catastrophe would that be if we don't make the Champions League and then he walks for free? I mean,
obviously,
I don't even want to be on that episode with Pepe if that happens.
I mean, that's for sure that the optics of that can be very, very bad.
It'll be a disaster. The guy with $80 million just walks out the door, and so does the Champions League.
Nah, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, I think he's gonna stay, and we're gonna make Champions League. I think we're going to barely, but we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the last minute against Atalanta.
What's our next game? Parma?
You fucking
Parma.
Shut up.
Come on, Pepe. You don't think we're gonna beat Parma?
I don't think you know anymore. I don't know.
You think we're going to lose every game?
Beppe doesn't think we win any game for the rest of the year.
Okay, let me see this fucking standings right now.
I'm going to put it for you right on the screen again, okay?
Schedule, I meant. Okay, Parma.
Parma, dopo Genoa. You remember what happened those last 2 games? We were supposed to win.
Points. Those are not too easy 6 points. I mean, come on.
Of course
Pepe Pepe, Sampdoria was an international break hangover. Okay?
That's always the excuse. Against Parma is because
look at the screen, look at this. Look at the screen right there.
If we beat Parma, that means we had some bad Parmigiano.
We have another 6 o'clock game. Did you notice that?
That was tough. I actually watched it. I did. Gianmarco, my son woke up with me.
That's the Sassuolo game and that Lazio game back to back. You're not getting 6 back to back like that. That
Sassuolo and Lazio?
Yeah, you're not getting 6.
I hate playing Sassuolo.
I'm with you on that one. I think we don't get 6 points out of Sassuolo and Lazio.
No, Sassuolo. Fucking what's his name is gonna? You know who's gonna score, baby?
Berardi.
No, not Berardi. What's his name?
Locatelli.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking score.
Locatelli.
That would be the 90th minute. Fucking Locatelli wins it.
Yeah.
So last time we played, what was it? We tied Parma, which was a game that we were supposed to win. We tied Genoa, a game that we were supposed to win. We beat Sassuolo with that magical 7-second goal that Niang 2.0 pulled out of his ass. And then we beat Lazio
at the last minute.
Yeah, the last minute. And we beat Lazio at the last minute with that Theo thing. All that magic is gone. I feel we're gonna tie 3 of these games, and we may win one, and that may be the Lazio one. We may.
Yeah,
maybe.
Milan
will do that because Milan will do that. Milan will win the Lazio game, but they won't win against Genoa or.
He's right. We're kind of like the Italian national team in a way, right? We're playing. We played down to these smaller clubs, and we beat the bigger ones.
So I read something online, or I watched another video from another of these Milan channels, and then the guy was saying, yeah, well, one of the things to blame is the schedule because they played at noon, and these players are not used to play at noon. Well, I think that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit. No, because they play at noon, and the players are, they have a very tough schedule, and then they can play on Manage. And I said, like, what the fuck are you talking about? These guys are supposed to go run, and what happened? They did not.
Yeah,
Çalhanoğlu looked like he's worth nothing.
Don't even get me started on that fucking guy.
It's not a sheer the schedule. I don't think it is. The whole thing about the time of the game.
Pepe, you know what I'm talking about.
I understand. I understand what that person said. I was trying to say, just from having been in an environment with like national team players where they have like certain routines, so like early games can sometimes like throw them off the recuperation. But that's not an excuse, though. Not for what we saw at Sampdoria. That you can't use the tiredness of the national like that. That was not a good performance whatsoever.
We never looked like we were.
Yeah, I think our first shot of the game against Sampdoria was like half an hour into it. After 30 minutes or so. It was not before then. We did not look threatening. We didn't look like there were any ideas offensively. And sometimes like a lot of teams that have Ibrahimovic, sometimes the players get lazy. They just want to dump the ball over the top and just go and just tell him, go Zlatan and do something with it. And he's what, 36 now, 37? I forget.
Who's Zlatan?
Yeah, Zlatan.
No, he's almost 40.
40.
Yeah, he's almost 40. He can't do that anymore. Like, he needs more support when we play with him. And right now, the players are just not there to provide that support. So it makes it very difficult. And obviously, it's a player that's difficult to bench, and everybody has to kind of like work around.
You said something earlier. You wouldn't bring him back next year?
No, I really wouldn't.
Honestly,
I didn't even really want him back this year, to be perfectly honest. I mean, last year. So, I think it's not worth investing in a player that's, of course.
But where would we be without? Let's be honest. Where would we be without him, though?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's scored 15 goals this season, something like that, and he's been struggling with COVID. So that's amazing. Props to him because even I have to say I didn't think he was going to have that kind of productivity.
We didn't even mention him. We didn't mention him in the consistency conversation, but
for sure. Yeah,
we didn't mention him though.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, he's not been consistent in the terms of injuries, but every time he plays, he's been delivering.
Yeah, well, more or less, he absolutely has been. But I just didn't think it was a good idea to bring a player of his age back. Like, you can't be out here talking about how we're going to build a team for the future. This is our project, and you bring back Zlatan.
Well, if we would have signed Rangnick as the coach, we would have Haaland right now.
I don't know about that, but
we would have had it. That was the rumor.
I don't think we would have had it.
You know who has been consistent? You know who has been consistent and quiet? The guy from Crotone, Simi. Guy just keeps scoring. I have him in my Fanta, but the guy every time, even though Crotone is, they're going down again, that guy has been consistent.
Yeah, I just wish that the club had better ideas, just to kind of bring the, I know like a lot of like Serie A clubs, they like to bring these like old players because they have the experience, they've won things. But you can't just mess around signing people off their CVs. And what have done in the past. Yes, Ibra has been productive. There's no doubts about it. But still, I don't think it's a good idea to go into this route of signing 30-plus-year-old players.
And who's the Visha Ibra that we got in January?
Well, hold on. Yeah. No, Mandzukic.
Well,
Mandzukic.
Mario is still coming back. I think Mario needs a little bit more of time.
By the time Mario is ready to play, it's going to be the last game of the season.
It is. He's going to play against.
$2 million.
Yeah,
I jinxed him by saying I was scared about the Higuain comparison.
No, listen, he's just been out of rhythm. To me, he's been completely.
That number 9 shirt.
Well, Leao has 17.
I have a funny story to share about the Higuain thing. And when Colin, our friend from Ireland, listens to this, he'll laugh. So the reason I hate Higuain so much, not only because of how poorly he played for Milan, and also because of all the time with Juventus, right? But when I went to Dublin a couple of years ago, me and Vito went to visit the Milan club Dublin, and they were having a giveaway. I forgot what game we watched, but anyway, we did win the game. Anyway, they were having a giveaway that day, and the giveaway was a signed Higuain jersey. And since me and Vito were the guests of honor from New York in Dublin, they filmed us on Instagram Live giving away the Higuain jersey. So that jersey, that guy, everything about him just gives me I hate him. And he's on Miami now, Oscar's favorite team there in Miami.
The Flamingo.
He's got that beard now with the.
I sent you your fucking flamingos yesterday.
You gotta put that video on.
I'm gonna find it
with the fucking flamingos. That was hilarious.
I'm gonna put it up.
But he was, Anyway, so I joked about Mandzukic. I said I hope with Juventus players. I don't like getting Juventus players, especially older, forwards. I'm scared they're going to turn into Higuain, and then Mandzukic goes out the next week.
So. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I think definitely there needs to be more imagination in the ideas of players when we try to sign. We should definitely go a bit younger. I mean, look, what have we done that? I don't
let's
think.
Let's talk about the younger. I mean, we're not addressing the elephant in the room that I think we talked about a little bit earlier. What's the deal with Leao? What do you?
Look, Leao is producing and giving exactly what should have been expected. Leao came to me. Leao is having the same season that he had at Lille, right? He scored a little less, admittedly, right? But when he was at Lille, he was on fire for half a season, and then he went up the boil. That's because he's still a very raw and young player. He's a player who's got good pace. He's good at running in behind. He's got a decent eye for goal. That's for sure. I think it shows. He works hard. He works hard off the ball.
No, he doesn't work hard. Nah.
I don't think he works hard, Ogo, man. I see him walking too much, man.
He's just this. This
yes,
fucking attitude.
He does. Yes, he definitely has that games where he walks off. But I think that's when he's really when he lacks confidence, right? Which is not an excuse, obviously. I think he should run regardless. But he's a player that definitely, when I watched him in France at Lille, when he first came to the club, he was very energetic. He felt like he had something to prove. So he was running around more, I guess, is what it was, right? And then when he settled into the team a little bit, then I guess this bad tendencies of walking around started to crawl into his game.
Do you think he's more talented than Niang?
Yes, I think he's more talented.
Yeah, well, yeah. Maybe I should have phrased the question. I mean, that's obvious. I should have phrased the question differently. Do you think he'll turn into Niang?
If he stays at Milan, yes.
Oh. What do you think's the problem, though? I mean, this guy. I mean, at a Sporting, they were talking about him. The coach of Sporting, or whoever it was, the scout that found Ronaldo, found him and said, "I haven't seen a player as talented as Leao since Ronaldo." I'm like, oh my god.
No,
listen, I mean, he is good if he wants to be, which he was. Remember that game against Inter? I still remember he left D'Ambrosio hanging. He was smiling. I mean, that's the Leao that I want to see. That's the Leao that went and scored that goal against Sassuolo. That when he's just like, hey, I'm gonna go score, but not what I'm seeing today. It's like he's out there and he just doesn't do anything.
At least Niang, he hit the post against Barcelona.
Right.
I mean, if that would have went in, maybe we'd still be talking about Niang right now, right?
But the thing
And
is
also
that,
one thing Niang did that I'll never forget, and I think all of us will remember, is how he faked being Traoré. Does everybody remember that story? I mean,
oh
I
my
don't think
god.
Leao's done that. Leao doesn't have good stories like this at Milan, you know?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
it's funny you mentioned that because when he went back to France, when he went at Montpellier, that happened again. When he had an issue where he drove without a license. I think it was him driving without a license or something else. Either way, he got stopped by the traffic police again when he was at Montpellier, and then he went to Monaco and he got like a speeding ticket for like speeding there too. Like the dude just should own a car. Like I don't know why he does. Like he's got the money, pay a chauffeur, dude. Like,
I know.
but yeah.
So you don't think you think we should be a little more patient?
Yeah, I think we're not patient, but just cautious with Leao, right? Because I think it's going to require a bit more than patience. Like you spoke about the elephant in the room. I think the big elephant in the room is, I don't know. I know this is going to start like it's going to sound a little supernatural, but there's something about the waters at Milanello these days, and not just these days, for years on now. For whatever reason, players seem to just stagnate when they come to the club. I mean, look at Andre Silva. I'm not saying Andre Silva is a player who should be like, starting for like, who's good enough to play for like Man City or Real Madrid or something like that. But he's clearly a decent striker.
Yeah.
And, he's scored about like 20 some goals in Germany this year. Yeah, it's a more attacking league. He's in a more settled team and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's still a lot of goals, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of goals exactly, right? And I think in both those cases, Andre Silva and Leao, there's also the issue that I think they also left Portugal very, very early. And that's why I say we need to be cautious with him. Just like, we needed to be more cautious with Andre Silva as well. So
it's the pressure, I mean, again, you don't want to compare Kaká. Kaká came young, too.
Right,
He came from Brazil, but he exploded.
Kaká is the exception that proves the rule.
That was like 21, 22.
Yeah,
right?
he was 21, 20. He exploded immediately. It was like
Immediately.
But now you're trying to replicate sort of this model with these guys, and it's just not happening. And I'm wondering, is it the pressure that the club exists just because the club is so big, everything is so big, or is it just the players are not getting adapted to the system? I mean,
I think it's neither of those. I don't think it's the pressure of the club. I don't think it's an adaptation in terms of the system. I think it has to do with the overall setup of the club. Like the club has been in such flux. Like we've had so many owners. There was we had Lead and we had three owners the past 5 years, right? With the Lead that like sold that they didn't even have money, and they were saying he had money. We did like went on this whole mercato, and this year he was gone. There was no money, and somebody else came, and then now we have. We had the Elliott group. So I think it's difficult for players to really flourish in that environment when they know, and we almost more or less say it, that we're getting young players to sell them on later on. So no one is really coming in and getting really integrated or like developing any sort of bond with the team, so to speak, right? It happened with Kessie. I think with him, he really adapted very, very well. And remember what a lot of fans, us included, used to say about Kessie a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was kind of defending him around that time as well, saying that we were asking Kessie to do too much in midfield when and a lot of things he wasn't supposed to do.
I think pairing him up with somebody that really changed
exactly
the way he played.
That's what he needed, but we were asking to do too much before.
Yeah, he was by himself out there. It was like, no way.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, and there's this thing about immersion plan, right? Like we look at that into the team. But one other thing that kind of worries me, and we've been talking about this on the show and through friends, is the injury problem. It is the way that we are keeping the players fit, which I don't know. I mean, you see these other guys going, like you said, maybe Andre Silva is a good example. He went out there, scored goals, but how many injuries has he had since he's been in Germany? probably less than he was injured here. I don't know. It's something to put in context,
Well, yeah, Ogo, you said something in the water. I mean, right?
Yeah, and as far as like when he went to Germany and started getting injured, look, I remember that when Robin went to Bayern Munich, they somehow fixed him. So they're doing something. They're doing something right there.
I said we have to bring the medical staff, the trainers that make Goretzka into Hulk, into the team.
Oh my God, that guy got huge, man.
You see it? It's like
he bulked up like crazy.
It's like unbelievable. I mean, who the hell?
Like metamorphosis, man.
I don't know. I'm scared, guys. Pep is too quiet.
Pep is very quiet.
I'm interested. That's it. I listen.
I'm interested. Hey, listen.
I'm just.
There you go. The fucking flamingo.
Hey, Pepe, Giancarlo, here's your fucking flamingo for you. Right there.
It sounds like a scene out of Scarface.
Yeah,
hey, man, you're fucking flamingos, man.
Tell it to my little friends.
Oscar just went to the zoo to fucking show us flamingos.
Yeah. I gotta make a stop here one second.
You gotta make a stop. Yeah. He would do that. He would
wake up.
I don't think Andre Silva was gonna ever do what he did at Frankfurt had he stayed at Milan. That's it.
I don't.
That seems to be the theme with all these players.
Same way with Locatelli. Locatelli became.
I was just about to mention it. Yeah.
Why? He would have never blew up at Milan.
I was just about to mention
he needed to go to Sassuolo and do whatever. Now he's ready for Juve.
Exactly. Yeah.
But why can't they do this at Milan? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's really unexplainable. I really don't know. I don't know if it's Pioli.
No, it's not Pioli.
It's not a coach.
Beforehand.
I don't know what it is. I'll be honest with you.
I tell you, I think it's because look. Let's be honest, right? Before the first half of the season, when we really got excited, right? When was the last time we actually got excited about something good that was happening in this team?
10 years.
Oh man, you're speaking to Pep's heart here right now.
but it's the truth though. This team has been in standstill, if not like slowly treading backwards for years now, almost half a decade. I want to say.
This is why we waited so long to do the fucking podcast.
Right.
We finally waited until they were winning again, right, Oscar? Oscar and I have been talking about doing this for years.
Yeah, and then we should say, screw it, let's just do it.
What's funny is we started doing this. Our first episode started happening when the team started already.
I know.
Fucking up.
We jinxed it.
I didn't want to say anything. Yeah.
Otherwise, you know what's gonna happen? If we would have did this from the first game of the season, you would have seen all the episodes. You would have seen us like going crazy. Oh my God! And then one little by little, just start being like,
yeah. Oh.
Yeah. All right. So, what's the prediction for Parma this weekend then?
Yeah, with this fucking predictions. Oh my God!
Look,
let's go, Pepe. I'm not saying anything anymore. I stopped. After that last game, I'm
calling for a Gervinho brace. That's what I'm saying.
Gervinho, my God, I forgot about him. I forgot he still plays there. Is he still playing? I forgot. I haven't watched any Parma games this year. Yeah, I forgot about Gervinho. Holy shit.
We're gonna tie. X.
No, I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna come out and win.
I hope so. I don't even know what to say anymore.
I think Kessie's gonna get that goal that he missed.
I hope so.
He didn't go in the other day.
Oh, so you don't think that's gonna be a 20th woodwork?
I don't think so. I think hopefully. I mean, maybe it will be, but I still think he'll score eventually. I think we're gonna win.
Is Kuchka still over there?
Who?
Yeah,
Kuchka.
Oh, but I think he was injured. I think he was injured last game.
Or maybe Conte will fuck us. One of those two would.
I like Kuchka.
But Conte hasn't even played. Conte has been sitting
there.
Well,
you'll make sure he's fit for that game.
Yeah, for sure.
But Gervinho, like Ogo said, Gervinho's a dangerous player. I don't trust him. That guy.
Yeah.
Oh. I do have to say.
You'll never trust a guy with a LeBron James hairline.
I have to say, though, as far as Gervinho is concerned.
That's a Frank.
Like, I figured. It's like, we haven't had the, I'm going to speak here for the, I shouldn't, but I will speak here for the whole continent of Africa. But, as far as Africans who have had that kind of longevity that Gervinho has had, still, he plays for Parma.
He's from Cote d'Ivoire, right?
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, yeah. He's still being productive. you know, they're not. We haven't had that many African players who've had that kind of longevity and been productive.
You're supposed to scout for me. You were supposed to be in Senegal. What are you doing, man? Remember, you were supposed to find us the next. You know,
I'll tell you one thing.
If you want the good Senegalese players, scout them straight out of Metz in France, because the club has a partnership with our academy in Senegal, which is called Jambaz, which actually was the first time I saw Sadio Mane. He was about he was like 17. You know, he was training there, and that's where I first saw him. And he got first called to the national team, and I saw him out there as well. The Jambaz Academy in Dakar in Senegal, the very, very famous, they have a very close partnership with Metz, in Ligue club, and a lot of their players usually go finish their formation over there, and then they go to Europe. For instance, Sadio Mane did that. He left Jambaz, he went to Metz, and then he went to Salzburg, and then from there he went to Southampton and Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I definitely saw him first at Jambaz, and then obviously he went to Salzburg. And when he went to Southampton, I was already telling some friends of mine who were Southampton fans, that you guys got a real. But he changed a lot. I mean, I'll tell you, when I first saw him in Senegal, it's a bit of a hothead, very he was he had a big ego with that early. But I think being at Salzburg really helped calm him down and really helped settle in, put a good head on the shoulders, and at Metz too as well. So,
speaking of Senegal, before we wrap up the show, I want you to tell the story of when you were in that piece of history when you were in the stadium and that whole thing happened.
Oh God!
You got to tell that story. You got to tell this is on the news. Ogo was there.
Okay,
it was like a military coup in the stadium.
It's not a military coup, but
gotta tell a story, Ogo.
Well, what happened is that I was in Equatorial Guinea, who were hosting the AFCON. I forget which one it was, but one of the AFCONs that they were hosting. But the first one that they were hosting, and I was at a stadium right before one of our games against Equatorial Guinea. And I was just walking in the stadium, and there was a huge line of people outside. And at one point, I see this huge a Hummer, just shows up, and all these guys military fatigues, AK, guns they had. I'm assuming AK-47s, strapped across their chest like that. And this guy, diplomat looking dude, right? Politician, walks around with a suitcase, with the handcuffs tied to the suitcase and everything. Like in the movies, no joke, right?
Yeah,
he
was great.
He obviously walks past the crowd of the people who are waiting to buy their tickets, and walks through in the stadium, and then and all of a sudden he doubles back and goes to the ticket booth, and he asks, "Hey, what are these guys doing here?" And the ticket booth guy tells him, "Oh no, these are just people waiting to get in the stadium. The fans, they don't have the money to pay for the tickets though." And the guy just he looks at the ticket booth, and I'm just staring at the city, what the hell's going on here? And he just snaps his fingers, and one of the guards goes back in the car, comes back around with the suitcase, opens it up, straight cash, and not even Equatorial Guinean dollars, but just actual dollars. Actual dollars.
Oh, wow.
And plus it's just let them all, and he's let them all in. I'm buying their tickets. Which was completely over the top, because the dollar is so strong compared to how much currency there and how much the tickets would have been. So it was complete overkill, obviously. But it was just so much shit. And it turns out that guy was the Suns president.
The Suns
sorry.
President's son.
Was the president's son? Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So stories from Equatorial Guinea.
Frank's this should be.
Yes, I agree. Welcome, Matteo Bonetti. Need to call Matteo Bonetti for that. Hey, Ogo, I want to close the show saying thank you.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming tonight, and this is dedicated to you. This is
Thank you.
dedicated to you, okay? Just because I did celebrate this.
Back on the field, and he's round the goalkeeper, and he'll get there first. Chesney furious with Krikowiak, and Niang, who'd just been called back up by the referee, gets the second goal of the game for Senegal, and they have a little bit of daylight between themselves and Poland.
Wait, hold on. All right, wait. Is that? Did he play for France? He's
No, he played for Senegal.
He did play for Senegal. Did he play for France too? Or
at the youth level.
Okay, that's right. He switched. Okay.
Yeah.
Niang scored a goal in the
I
World Cup.
remember in 2002, one of my heroes, because I despise France and the French national.
Oh yeah, that was great.
2002, I woke up. That was the first game of the World Cup. It was the inaugural game, and it was Senegal against France.
Yeah.
Bopa Diop.
Yeah.
No,
crazy method.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That day. Sorry.
Didn't he just pass away? Bopa Diop.
Yes,
he did.
He passed away.
He passed away?
Yeah, he passed away like a few months ago. Yeah, he passed away.
How did he die?
I don't remember, unfortunately, but
I don't know. Something happened, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's like a heart condition or something.
Oh man, that's terrible.
I mean, I don't want to say because I don't want to get it wrong, but yeah, no, he passed away very recently. There were like obviously huge funerals in the huge kind of mourning in Senegal about it because obviously scored the World Cup and actually my my older brother lives maybe like 15 minutes away. He lives like in the same kind of like gated community that he lived. That his family lived in. So yeah, but he passed away. It's very sad.
That is sad.
He was a hero, for that day. After that day when we beat against France, the president immediately called for national holiday for that day.
Was that the first World Cup?
Mm-hmm. That was our first. Yeah, that was Senegal's first World Cup.
Imagine what a debut.
Yeah.
World champions.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
Fuck France.
France.
Sorry, Ogo. I mean, I don't know.
It's great being here. Honestly, very much enjoyed it.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. We love you, Ogo. Grazie, Rossonero Ogo.
All right, bye, boys.
Forza
Bye,
Milan.
everybody. Ciao.
Hey, guys.
Ciao.